Tricia, your book, let me get this right, Traversing the Innerverse.
Yes.
Okay, tell us about that and when we can expect that, and anything else you want the audience to know as far as how they can reach you, connect with you if they want to go deeper in what you're talking about.
Yeah, the book Traversing the Innerverse, Plant Medicine, Ancestral Wisdom, and the Path to Transcendent Consciousness is really something that wanted to come through in the 6 years that I've worked with people. I've worked with over 1,500 people, including Navy SEALs and celebrities and politicians. And I've seen, just some things that really limit us in our path of really growth. And I really feel, psychedelics are such a huge buzzword. And actually, there are so many important frameworks that are missing from the psychedelic space that really limit how far you can go with the work. One of the good examples that actually, when I was watching, which episode is it where you quote Stanislav Grof and you say that he believes that archetypal astrology merged with psychedelics is one of the most exciting directions that the movement could make, if you remember that?
I don't remember which episode. To be perfectly honest, like the work happened so long ago, and I'm almost embarrassed to say I haven't seen all the episodes. I remember doing the voiceover, doing the scripts and everything, so I'm not sure exactly which one Stan Grof made that mention to. But I also agree. What that sounds like to me is you're utilizing the agent itself that you consume, the sacrament, as something that helps amplify an intention, which could be working with another science or a higher science, a deeper understanding of ourselves, which I think that's kind of the place that we're all moving to, is the more we understand that, man, not only were psychedelics used thousands and thousands of years ago in many different settings, but almost always having to do with having higher visions and healing and grounding here in the physical, as well as darkness. Darkness goes way, way back. Oh, what do you know? Music and chanting and drumming and things like that. And these are all things that are accompaniments to psychedelics. So I really appreciate that your book focuses on that. I want to let you finish what you were saying there about when the book's going to come out and how people can connect with you.
Yeah, I mean, really, thank you for sharing that. I feel that there's too much focus on the psychedelic itself and not enough on the framework. And when we look at the initiatory traditions, whether it's the Kemetic rites, whether it's initiation into Bwiti, there is quite a significant amount of rites and rituals that are used for purification and preparation, and then rites and rituals for integration, outing ceremonies, things like that. And I feel like our framework of the reductionist Western view, which has been primarily adopted into the psychedelic space, really is cutting a lot of those pieces out, which actually shortchanges people. And so it's really understanding the whole landscape and how it fits together so that you can traverse your innerverse. And, for instance, I talk about chakras, and, some people might think that that's something that's woo-woo, or they might not believe in things like that, but really, in terms of like when you're on 5-MeO-DMT, there's a very visible, like, going through the different dimensions, almost like, floors in an elevator, which happens very quickly, that would, lead me to believe, just from seeing it so many times over, that there are chakras, and there's many other, evidence that I've experienced. But I think it's just really important that we really start to look at, just because something is not concrete, just because it doesn't always give a predictable result, doesn't mean that it gets thrown out. We need to start integrating these models, these more quantum models of understanding our own inner nature.
Yeah, that's cutting off what they call cutting the tallest poppy trying to make everything fit in something that we can understand as a collective. And so we self-police and say, like, where's your scientific peer-reviewed evidence for that? In a lot of ways, we don't realize that that is something that you were even saying. It limits where we will even attempt to go. If we didn't know that there were different chambers of our own intelligence that we could go to, then maybe on psychedelics we would have only found like the sense gratification that it could enhance, which it can. So I really appreciate that. It's something that is not only needed more, but I think is being accepted more. So thank you for going there with your book, going there with both of your work. Make sure y'all head over to benjosephstewart.com, become a member. You'll have access to the growing library of deeper dives where I talk about all the stuff that I really can't talk about on YouTube. Make sure you get involved in the Discord chat. That's where a lot of the conversation is happening, talking about new theories, being able to interweave into the greater conversation that is how we awaken infinity. That's our highest potential. And I just want to remind you, you are the most powerful technology ever known to creation. Wield it like an artist with a conscience.